Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something straight up. If you don't push yourself to level up, life will push you down. You can sit there hoping for a break, waiting for somebody to see your potential, waiting for the right time. But guess what? The right time is now. Nobody's coming. No magical opportunity. No perfect situation. It's on you to create that next level. You know why you need to hear this whole message. Because I'm about to tell you the real reason you feel stuck. The real reason success always seems right there but out of reach. And I promise you this, when you're done listening, you won't look at your own excuses the same way again. So stay with me. Let me tell you the truth that most people don't want to hear. Nobody is coming to rescue you. I know that's hard to digest because we all like to think that somehow, someway, somebody's going to show up and hand us a break, a blessing, a shortcut. But let me break it to you, that ain't how life works. There is no secret committee sitting somewhere planning your success. Nobody's out there thinking, you know what, let's go help him out today. Let's go change her life for her. No, that ain't happening. You've got to be the hero of your own story. You've got to be the one that makes the move, because if you don't move, nothing moves. That level you're dreaming about, that house, that car, that peace of mind, that financial freedom, it's all waiting on you. And it's only unlocked when you decide, right here and right now, that you're done waiting on other people to do for you what you should be doing for yourself. You see, too many of us spend so much time blaming what we don't have. We blame the boss who didn't promote us. We blame the friend who didn't support us. We blame our parents for not giving us a better start. And as long as we're pointing fingers, we stay stuck. We stay small. We stay broke in our pockets, in our hearts, in our dreams. But the minute, and I mean the very minute, you stop waiting on help and start being the help you need, that's when the whole game changes. That's when doors start opening. That's when opportunities start showing up, because you ain't waiting anymore, you're moving. And let me tell you, motion creates momentum. Nobody notices somebody standing still. But when you start moving, when you start building, when you start climbing, that's when people see you. That's when the phone calls come. That's when the network grows. But you had to go first. You had to take the first step. Nobody's gonna do it for you. We've been fooled by movies and fairy tales that somebody's supposed to come save us. That's not real life. In real life, you're the hero. You're the one holding the pen. You're the one writing the story, and guess what? That means you have the power to change it. You don't like where you are? Write a new chapter. You don't like how the last scene went down? Flip the page. But you can't sit there waiting for some miracle person to show up and lift you out of your mess. You've got to lift yourself, and you can, because you've got everything you need already inside you. But you've got to stop doubting it. Stop talking yourself out of your own blessing. Stop convincing yourself that you need somebody else to validate you before you can move. You don't. All you need is courage. That's it. That's the key. Not connections, not approval, not luck. Just courage. The courage to say, enough, I'm done waiting. I'm done hoping. I'm done sitting still. I'm about to force myself to level up right now today. Look around. The people you admire, the people living the life you want, they weren't handed that. They didn't sit around and wait for a rescue plan. They took what they had, where they were, and they made it work. And it wasn't easy, it wasn't perfect, but they started, and starting is what separates the dreamers from the doers. You want to level up. Start messy, start scared, start broke, start tired. Just start. Because when you do, you prove to yourself that you never needed to be rescued in the first place. You always had the power. You just had to claim it. Everybody talks about wanting to be successful, wanting to live their dreams, wanting to see a better life. But let me tell you why most folks never get there. It's because they're trapped in the most dangerous place in the world, their comfort zone. You see, comfort feels good. Comfort tells you that it's okay to stay right where you are. Comfort whispers in your ear that you don't need to change, that what you have is enough, that pushing for more might hurt. But what comfort doesn't tell you is that it's also the very reason why you're stuck. Your comfort zone is a trap, plain and simple. It keeps you small, keeps you safe, and keeps you from becoming everything God put inside you to be. The truth is, growth and comfort don't live in the same house. You can't have both at the same time. You either choose to stay comfortable or you choose to grow. And that choice right there, that's the choice that defines your life. Now let me break it down for you. Think about every time you tried something new, every time you reached for more, every time you took a risk. What did you feel? Nervous, scared, uncertain. That's because you were stepping outside that little bubble you'd built for yourself. And in that moment you had two options. You could run back inside where it felt safe, or you could stand out there in the unknown and trust that you're built for this. But most people, they run back. They choose the job that doesn't challenge them. They stay in relationships that don't grow them. They stick to routines that don't serve them. Why? Because it's comfortable, and comfort feels good in the short term. But let me tell you something, real comfort will rob you blind. It'll rob you of your potential. It'll rob you of your future. It'll rob you of the experiences, the lessons, the victories that come from stretching yourself beyond what's easy. The people who level up, the people who rise, the people who go from ordinary to extraordinary, they're not the ones who never felt fear. They're the ones who felt it and moved anyway. They're the ones who learned to be uncomfortable on purpose, because they understood something most folks miss. Every blessing, every breakthrough, every big opportunity is sitting just outside your comfort zone. You gotta go out there and get it. You gotta be willing to be uncomfortable, to look foolish sometimes, to fail, to try again. That's the price of growth. That's the price of leveling up. And the crazy part is, once you get out there, once you push past that initial fear, you realize it wasn't as scary as you thought. You realize that you're stronger than you knew, braver than you believed, and more capable than you ever gave yourself credit for. And that right there builds a new comfort zone. But don't stop there, because that new comfort zone, that's just the next trap if you stay too long. Growth is a journey, not a destination. Every time you get comfortable, it's time to stretch again. It's time to chase the next level, the next dream, the next version of you that's waiting to be unlocked. Because that's where the real rewards live. That's where your purpose lives. That's where the life you want is hiding out there beyond comfort, out there where the real work begins, out there where the growth happens. Let me tell you something that separates the people who just get by from the people who make it big, the people who stay average from the people who become great, the people who talk about success from the people who actually achieve it. It's one word. Just one little word that makes all the difference: extra. That's it. Extra. That's the gap between ordinary and extraordinary. You see, ordinary folks do what's required. They show up. They do just enough. They check the box, and they go home. They say, I did my part, and they think that's enough. But life don't reward people for doing the bare minimum. Life rewards those who show up and give more than what's asked. The ones who stay a little later, the ones who get up a little earlier, the ones who practice when nobody's watching, the ones who say, "What more can I do today to get closer to my goal?" That's what extra looks like, and that's where the magic happens. You can't expect extraordinary results from ordinary effort. That's just not how it works. You can't say you want to be great, but you only want to do what's easy. Greatness costs extra. Success costs extra. And let me tell you, everybody wants to be successful until it's time to do what successful people do. Everybody wants the blessing, but not everybody wants to pay the price. But I'm here to tell you the truth. There's no shortcut. There's no hack. The price is extra. The price is doing what other people won't. The price is going beyond what's comfortable. And the folks who are willing to pay that price, they're the ones living the life everybody else dreams about. Think about it. The athletes, the business leaders, the artists, the folks who inspire you, they didn't get there because they were lucky. They didn't get there because somebody handed it to them. They got there because they decided to give more. When other people slept, they worked. When other people complained, they stayed focused. When other people quit, they kept going. That's extra. And the beautiful thing about extra is this: it's not about talent. It's not about where you came from. It's not about how much money you have. It's a choice. Every single day you can choose to do extra. You can choose to give more. You can choose to stay hungry, and that choice right there. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. The truth is, ordinary effort will never create an extraordinary life. It just won't. You want to level up. You want to live a life that makes people say, "Wow, how did he do that?" You want to leave a legacy. Then you gotta stop settling for what's easy and start demanding more from yourself. You gotta decide that you're going to be the kind of person who always gives extra. Because when you give extra, life gives back extra. It shows up for you. It opens doors. It brings you opportunities you couldn't have imagined, but it starts with you. It starts with your willingness to do what's hard, what's inconvenient, what's uncomfortable. That's where the growth is. That's where the success is. That's where extraordinary lives. Let me break something down for you that could change your life if you really let it sink in. You can either make excuses or you can make progress, but you can't do both. That's just how it works. See, excuses are like anchors tied to your feet. You can't move forward because you're too busy dragging the weight of your own reasons why you can't. And don't get me wrong, I know those reasons sound good. I know they feel real. You tell yourself, "I don't have the time." You say, "I don't have the money." You convince yourself, "I wasn't born into the right family," or "I'm too old," or "I'm too young." And every single one of those excuses keeps you stuck exactly where you are. You can dress those excuses up. You can make them sound smart. You can get people to agree with you, but at the end of the day, all they're doing is keeping you from the life you were meant to live. Let me tell you why so many people stay in the same place year after year after year. It ain't because they don't have dreams. It ain't because they don't want more. It's because every time the opportunity to grow shows up, they choose an excuse instead. Growth says, "Let's go," but the excuse says, "I'm not ready." Progress says, "Step out," but the excuse says, "Maybe tomorrow." And before you know it, tomorrow turns into next week, next month, next year, and then what? You look back and realize all that time is gone, and you're still in the same spot. And I'm telling you right now that can stop today. The moment you stop letting your excuses run your life is the moment you start making progress. You see, progress don't care about your excuses. Life don't care about your excuses. The world keeps turning whether you step up or not. So you gotta decide, Are you going to keep feeding your excuses, or are you going to start feeding your future? Because here's the truth: every excuse you make steals a little piece of your destiny. Every time you choose to explain why you can't, you give up a little more of what could have been yours. And I don't care what it is you're after: a better job, a stronger relationship, a healthier body, more peace, more joy. None of that comes from excuses. All of it comes from action. It comes from deciding that no matter what it looks like, no matter what it costs, no matter how hard it feels, you're going to move forward anyway. And I'm not saying it's easy. It ain't easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. That's why so many folks choose excuses, because they're easy. They feel good in the moment. They let you off the hook, but they don't change your life. They don't get you closer to your dream. What gets you there is doing the work. What gets you there is choosing progress over excuses. Even on the days you feel tired, even when it feels like nothing's happening, even when nobody's clapping for you. That's what separates the ones who talk about success from the ones who live it. The ones who level up, who rise, who leave their mark, they're the ones who decided that their future matters more than their excuses. Let me tell you something that'll change how you look at life. Your future rewards, the things you're praying for, hoping for, working for, all of that is hidden behind the hard decisions you don't want to make today. That's the truth most people don't want to face. See, everybody wants the blessing, everybody wants the breakthrough, everybody wants the good life, but not everybody wants to pay the price. Because that price usually shows up in the form of a tough choice. And I'm talking about the kind of choice that keeps you up at night, the kind of choice that makes your stomach twist, the kind of choice that forces you to leave behind what's easy so you can go after what's great. And let me tell you, most folks run from those choices. They say it's too hard. They say it's not the right time. They say, what if I fail? And because they run, they stay stuck. They keep living the same year over and over and calling it a life. But the people who level up, the people who actually change their story, they're the ones who stop running from those hard decisions and start facing them head on. Think about it. The job you hate but won't leave because it's secure. There's a hard decision sitting right there, waiting on you to have the courage to step out and trust that you were made for more. The relationship that's draining you, but you're too scared to end because you don't want to be alone. There's a hard decision hiding your peace on the other side. That business you dream about starting, but you keep putting off because it's risky. Your future reward is sitting right there, waiting for you to bet on yourself. Every single thing you want is tied to a decision you've been avoiding, and the longer you avoid it, the longer you delay your destiny. See, life don't give out prizes for comfort. Life gives out prizes for courage. And that courage shows up when you're willing to make the hard choices, the choices that stretch you, that scare you, that force you to grow into the person who can handle the blessing you're asking for. Let me tell you what most people get wrong. They think success is about talent. They think it's about connections. They think it's about luck. But I'm telling you right now, success is about decision. The small decisions you make daily, and the big ones you make when life puts you at a crossroads. And here's the thing: nobody can make those decisions for you. Nobody can choose your future for you. That's your job, and it's the hardest part of the job, because the easy road is always going to look more inviting. The easy road will always feel safer. But that road don't lead to rewards. That road don't lead to greatness. That road don't lead to anything but regret. The hard road, the one that forces you to be brave, to take a risk, To believe in yourself, that's the road that leads to everything you want. And the beautiful thing is, once you make that first hard decision, the next one gets a little easier, because you start to see what you're capable of. You start to build strength. You start to build resilience. And before you know it, you're not scared of hard choices anymore. You're looking for them, because you understand that hidden inside every tough decision is the key to the life you've been dreaming about.